Right, guys, we're back, and I'm specifically asking Brittany and Bradley, and I think there was another student, I believe it's Alicia, that had the position that no, you shouldn't work for more than contribute more than your cost, and I gave the explanation. I just wanted to make sure that you guys understand my explanation earlier for why we say that you should. And also, if there are any questions on what we've done so far as we move on to the other part of the lecture, today we're going to finish out HR. Any questions on termination, performance appraisal, developing and training, interview questions, interview panel, the selecting process, the recruiting process. Okay, well, it was Alicia, right? Good, good. I'm glad that you guys understand, and I'm happy that there was, someone who had a different opinion and a different view, and I was able to elucidate your minds on a new perspective. So good. I'm very happy for that. I'm not hearing from Bradley. So we'll continue. If there are no questions, Bradley, if you do have any comments, you just throw it in chat, okay? Right. Management by objectives it's pretty straightforward. And when you look at it in terms of the name, you manage persons by a particular objective, and this actually seeds into project management to an extent, where it's something that's done over a period of 1 or 2 years. So it's short term, and these are overall objectives that are now broken down into smaller objectives for individuals and for units in the organizations. So it's management by objectives. So we know on slide number 43, what must be done and the priority of activities. And when you look at it, it's very similar to how management is done generally in some organizations and by some managers. What must be done and the priority, the action that must be performed, the plan of action, when it is to be completed, how much it will cost, what constitutes satisfactory performance, how is the progress being achieved, and when to take corrective action. Now, all of these things there speaks very much to project management. It speaks very much to how projects are done. It also so management by objectives is very similar to project management, where it's short term. You have large overall objectives that are broken down into smaller objectives and are monitored constantly. Defining the goal in management by objectives. And there's this example here that Drucker said passenger liners, which was these cruise ship owners, saw themselves in the business of transport, while their customers saw them in the business of entertainment. Now, I find this may have been a, a old example, or perhaps an example just to probably give a different perspective on things. But we all know that cruise ship organizations are in the business of entertainment. Yes, they transport persons from Miami into the Caribbean and to other destinations, but the destination is not as important as the journey. So, you know, similarly, airline industries as well, some of the more high-end airline industry um, participants, their their flight is sometimes really advanced and really well done and takes care of their customers and entertains their customers more than just carrying them from France to Italy or from the US to South America. So understanding the direction and the general structure of the planning process. At each level of the organization, the superiors and subordinates meet to jointly define the objective. So they meet and they jointly agree on what we are about to achieve, which is very different, guys, to what old management is. Old management is about the management knowing what has to get done because management does all the thinking. This is old we're speaking about. And then management tells the workers, tells the doers what to do. So management by objectives is very new workplace, very new workplace. These fit into the overall framework of the organization and the component and converts to personal goals and plans. And please remind me again, I'm going to say this ad nauseum. Goals and plans should be goals and plans should be That's right. Smart, smart. Yes, yes. My usual suspects threw out answers to me. Yes, very good. Goals and objectives must be smart. And guys, for the sake of Brittany, who has joined us in the chat, Alicia, yes. And I think there's a new person, Charisma, is Charisma, Charisma. This is, I'm not seeing Charisma, Charisma, sorry, yes. Charisma in the chat. What does smart mean? Tell them. Smart means, I'm saying this ad nauseum because I want you all to remember this from now forever for the rest of your life. Smart means what does smart mean, guys? Hey, what does smart mean? Chelsea, specific measure, right? Perfect. Remember this forever. Goals and objectives must be specific, measurable, attainable. Specific, measurable, attainable. Teresa, you missed it right. Realistic. Yes. Good. Well done. Right. The context of the objectives, those that it should be set and must reflect the capacity of the individuals and the background of the organization. Um, when employees achieve their objective, they expect to receive a reward. It may be monetary or maybe some sort of performance or reward. So again, it falls along the lines of project management, but project management does not necessarily have anything like an award to the end of the project because I said project management and projects usually have pretty decent salaries associated with it. So therefore, that in itself is the only reward that you get. The other reward is it being able to sit on your resume to say that you would have been part of this project. So the manager and staff jointly define objectives, results are identified with a time frame, progress is monitored, and rewards are identified. It must be stressed that the objective setting process is one of negotiation, where the manager sets base accomplishment and defines satisfactory performance. The employee examines various increments above this base and selects one that poses a challenge but is achievable. It poses a challenge but is achievable. So the manager sets the base accomplishment, what we want to get at the base level, and then the employee can look at what can we do just above the base that is attainable but is a challenge. Good. And all of these things help with development of you being part of a high performance team where you set yourself standards that are a bit higher than the base. Again, it can come back to what our discussion was earlier, where we spoke about doing more than you cost, contributing more than you cost. Your manager would be happy with you doing XYZ. But if you do X squared, Y, Z cubed, it's going to go a long way. So some problems with management by objectives is that it doesn't create an environment where it can operate as a complex system, where we all know projects are usually complex systems. Um, and you have a tendency, if it is that the the system is corrupted, where you can set easily achievable goals, get substantial um, um, achievements, and get your bonuses somewhat unfairly. So that's some issues that exist with management by objectives. It does not resolve conflicts between objectives and superiors, and we're going to talk about conflict in our next lecture. Um, Performance may not be rewarded, but lack of commitment will be penalized, right? Yes. Fear of failure system. So you might be fearful of failing, and you might not get your performance done properly. But because you didn't get the performance done or you didn't achieve, you might actually get penalized for it. So another one is rewards are not differentiated. The difference between doing well and marginally well obtains similar rewards. So that's management by objectives. This was put into this human resource um, lecture that you can understand management by objectives. So we're in the last few slides here. In all companies, not just pharmacies, we're on slide number 53. Employee salaries are the major expense category. Human resource assets can make or break any organization. Most of the problems that one face as a manager would be human resource issues. That's a fact, guys. Most of the problems that you're going to face in your organization will be human resource based, whether be it performance issues, whether it be disciplinary issues, whether it be quality of work issues. It's human resource is definitely a major one. Take note that poor staff can drive you out of business. They can steal goods, so they can steal time. How does someone steal time? How is time stolen? How is time stolen? Can anyone gander make a guess as how is time stolen? Not being productive during work hours. Exactly. As we like to say in local parlance, sitting down on the walk. Sitting down on the walk. Your work to get done, you're just not being productive. And we all know we can think of an example that we discussed so greatly last week, or of the type of organizations that are known to do this type of thing, which is stealing time. Good. Thanks, Samantha C. Chasing away customers. Guys and gals, this is something very important. Your human resource could be chasing customers away. Oh, that was Samantha C and Samantha A. I don't know. So that not being productive. Yes, yes, Brittany. Yes, Samantha's not being productive. That's stealing time. And the other one now, chasing customers away. Chasing customers away. How can some of your staff chase customers away? How can your staff chase customers away? Let me get some answers for this one. Poor customer service. Good. Correct. Poor customer service. Yes, Shakila. But all right, all right. We get the point. Poor customer service. Yes, Teresa, Shakila, Samantha. Brittany, being rude and disrespectful. Yes. How else can they chase the customer away? That's for sure. That's a given, and I accept all of those answers. How else? That's the only way that your staff can chase customers away. Your staff, Teresa. Your staff. Your staff, guys. Not just we talk about your staff. How can your staff? Ah, precious. Precious. You got it. Yes. Not be knowledgeable on goods and services. Incompetent. Yes, Kavita. R. Correct. Not be incompetent. Not being knowledgeable. You are definitely going to chase your customers away. And this ties back into your training and development. This ties back into you as an employee coming into an organization and doing more than you cost. Training and assimilating and observing and developing yourself, even in the absence of legitimate and organized training structures. You, as the employee, can train and learn, pick up things and learn, ask questions of your supers, ask questions of your colleagues who have been there before. Very good, Precious. Thank you for that. Not being knowledgeable. What else? How else can they chase customers away? Poor customer service, bad attitude, being rude, being disrespectful, not being knowledgeable, being incompetent. How? What else? One more. We can think of one more. We can think of one more. False advertising. um, we want to look at how your staff can cause you to have customers being chased away, and your staff don't really advertise that's a company disregarding customer complaints. Yes, that's along the lines I was going. So, Alexis, not really false advertising, because remember, the organization is the one that does the advertising. So you can say false advertising if it is your staff is now misleading your customers. So in that respect, yes, Alexis, I'll accept that. Teresa, not being able to take complaints or finding solutions. Right, correct. Okay, so that's it. Disregarding customer complaints, no follow up. No follow up. No follow up with a complaint. No follow up with a request for a product. No follow up on giving them answers or on providing more information. Good. So you all got all three: bad attitude, being rude, being disrespectful, not being competent, not being knowledgeable, and not following up. Good. You all got them, man. Very, very happy with that. Incurring debt. And incurring debt by deliberately damaging your equipment, deliberately damaging your stock, and by lawsuits. And I want to remind all of you that we are all part of the medical profession. And I urge all of you, when you get out there and practice, if you're practicing as a pharmacist, I urge you to get medical legal insurance. Let me put that in there now. Medical insurance, because individually, you might be sued as an organization that you work for, the organization might be sued, and you might be sued as well. So litigation and legal action, those things can definitely chase your customers away as well. So ensure that your customer, your staff is doing the things that are right. And again, guys, if you have happy staff, you will have productive staff. And if you have happy staff, your staff is not going to damage your equipment. Your staff is not going to steal stock. Your staff is not going to damage stock. And your staff is not going to put you in a position to get lawsuits. All right? So focus, please, on keeping your staff happy, keeping your staff well trained, and you should be fine. Your job analysis, your knowledge, your skills, intelligence, experience, motivation, temperament. What is temperament? Do we understand the term temperament, guys? Temperament is your ability to remain calm. Temperament is your ability to interpret a situation for exactly what it is and nothing more, nothing less. What's your temperament as a future professional? You're not a regular laborer who's doing construction work. And even if you are, what's your temperament? Are you easily annoyed by things? Are you being part of the good culture of an organization? Are you making a fuss? Are you being disrespectful to your supervisors? Are you being disrespectful to your peers? What's your temperament? I'm honing in on the word temperament because it's an important one. What's your motivation again? Are you self-motivated? Are you motivated by money? Are you motivated by position? Are you motivated by perks? Are you motivated by location, where you're located for your job? All of these things are consideration. Your job description, knowing what your job description is. All right, so we have completed today's lecture on human resources, and I invite now any questions, any queries. I hope today's discussion was enjoyable. I hope you all understood the things that were said. I hope my analogies worked well. I hope you all are encouraged to go and look at football. I actually, right, and I forgot. Teresa, seeing that you know a lot, and Shakila as well, and all of these girls who know a lot about football. We all know what happened this weekend with Barca. Can anyone tell me what happened this weekend with Barcelona? anyone know? Does anyone know? Barcelona Football Club. Barcelona FC. But Teresa, you were answering about football earlier. You were the one who. Let me see, Teresa. Oh, oh, it was in the last class. Okay, it was in the last session. I know bare minimum. Okay. Oh, well, I don't mean to be sexist, but what about the boys? I know boys generally just lean towards the football. Girls, I know you all are on top of your game as well. So yes, because that's those easy questions. All right, Teresa. So nobody knows. Wait, I now realize whenever there's a delay in the answers, it's because people are quick on their search. I should give you all the answer before you give me the answer. The 4 win yesterday, 4-0 win yesterday. Yeah, they had a 4-0 win yesterday, but there was yes, there was a 4-0 win, Samantha and Leandro, but there was something much more important that took place. Something much more important. What was it? Nobody knows. I'll give a hint. Can I give a hint? El Pistolero. Just now I'm asking a friend. Well, at least you're being honest, Samantha. At least you're being honest. And I think by me putting El Pistolero, it's going to just sell it up because you're going to Google El Pistolero and you're going to see. But I have a point. Ansu Fati scored. I didn't look at the highlights, but Ansu Fati is the only 17-year-old on his side, so I'm assuming he scored. I don't know. I didn't look at the highlights. Nobody. What? Two guys made their debuts. Okay, all right, okay. That's not what I'm looking for, though. That's not what I'm looking for. Yes, yes, Leandra, yes. Luis Suarez, El Pistolero. Yes, Suarez was not given a contract to continue at Barcelona. He was let out free to Atletico Madrid, to a competitor. And if you YouTube Suarez's departure, it's very emotional because Suarez was in tears. He was part of the big three at the front, which was Neymar, Suarez, and Messi. And he cried on leaving because if you look at the video, you'd see he said when he was leaving the dressing room, the staff that was there in the dressing room, and Messi was upset, yes. The staff that was in the dressing room recognized Suarez not just as one of the club's best, one of the club's greatest legends, but also as a human being. And I'm saying this because today we are doing human resource management. And suddenly I have 24 participants in class. All the time I'm trending at 19. We started talking about football again and back at 24. All right. So he was in tears. This big footballer that made so many goals at Liverpool and at Barcelona, and is now already debut at Atletico Madrid and scored 2 goals. So to tell you the quality of talent that he is, and he was in tears because he's leaving this club And he has recognized the type of relationship that was built with his teammates, with the staff that was training him. And where is the biggest contention? With management, and I'm pointing up because you know it's the hierarchy. Management somehow did not have Suarez in their plans. Management also did not have Arturo Vidal in their plans. Management also did not have Ivan Rakitic in their plans. And you would see now some real conflict that is existing, and we can discuss conflict in the other lecture, and we can use the same football example where there's no active conflict between your star players of a football team and management. That is a very tricky and volatile place to be walking in right now. You had your star player trying to leave a month ago, and now you have your other star forward who was gone. And he spoke about people telling him when he had just come to Barcelona, that look out for Messi. You're also a forward, that Messi is a star forward. And they developed such a great bond. They develop such a great bond when you pair certain people and you monitor, and they are now in a position where they can work together. And we spoke about the cliques in the last lecture where we said social groups and cliques are not always bad. All right. So I encourage you all to take a look on the YouTube, or just Google up on YouTube, or look up on YouTube, sorry, Luis Suarez departure video, and you would see what I'm speaking about, of how much an organization can really have an impact on the persons that they employ and the people who are there. All right. So I'm leaving you all today with that. With El Pistolero, I mean, I must honor him. I'm not a Barca fan per se, but I think Suarez is definitely one of the world's best players, and he still has a lot in him. But I wanted to honor him by mentioning him in our lecture, and tying it into human resource management so that you can understand your position. Um, you can understand the positions that relates to human resource management. All right. So if there are no questions, guys, thank you all very much for participating. Leandra, Teresa, the Samanthas, Brittany. I think you may have to. If I remember well, for summer, you didn't have to do Turnitin for the in course, but Dr. Maraj will have the final requirements up on my learning today. All right. So good luck with the exam. I'm sure you all will do fine. I'm urging you all again to write cogent answers. Do not write essays that are just words. Make sure your answers make sense. Make sure your answers are academic in nature, and all will be fine. And it's okay if you don't do well in the exam. It's an opportunity to learn, and we'll move on from that. All right. So good luck, guys. Have a good evening, and I'll see some of you all tomorrow in com and in stay as well. So no more questions. We'll end today's session. Let's confirm no more questions. I'll wait 1 minute for any questions, and then we'll end. All right, so we have no more questions. So guys, see you all. Have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your week if I don't see you tomorrow. Take care.